Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Start our Thursday program today with tilawat of Surah Waqia by Brother Iqbal Kanji.
الرحيم إذا وقعت الواقعة ليس لوقعتها كاذبة خافضة رافعة إذا رجت الأرض رجا وبست الجبال بسا فكانت هباء منبثا وكنتم أزواجا ثلاثة فأصحاب الميمنة ما أصحاب الميمنة وأصحاب المشأمة ما أصحاب المشأمة والسابقون السابقون أولئك المقربون في جنات النعيم صدق الله العلي العظيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم وأهلك عدوهم من الجن والإنس من الأولين والآخرين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وذل لها كل شيء وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحتك الإصفان اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النعم اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعم اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تقطع الرجاء اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بالذكر وأستشفع بك إلى نفسي وأسألك بجودك أن تدنيني من قربك وأن توزعني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خادع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وأظم فيما عندك رغبته اللهم أظم سلطانك وعلى مكانه وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائه ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيره لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي وتجرحت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فادح من البلاء قلته وكم من إثار وقيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته اللهم أذم بلاعي وأفرط بسوء حالي وقصرت بي أعمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعي بعد آمالي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بخيانتها ومطالي يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك ألا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأهوال رؤوفا وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا إلهي وربي من لغيرك أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعد حدوده وخالفت بعض أوامره فلك الحجة علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاء وألزمني حكمك ببلاغ وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي مؤتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا مقترفا لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة من رحمتك اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شد وثاقي يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي هب لي ابتداء كرمك وصالح برك بي يا إلهي وسيدي وربي يتراك معذب بنارك بعد توحيده وبعد من طوى عليه قلبي من معرفته ولهج به لسان من ذكره وأعتقده ضمير من حبه وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيته هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيت وتبعد من أدنيت وتشرد من آويت وتسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوه خرت لعظمتك ساجدا وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا وبشكرك نادها وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا وعلى ضمائر هبت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة وعلى جوارها سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنا ما هكذا الظن بك ولا أخبرنا بفضلك يا كريم يا رب يا كريم يا رب يا كريم يا رب وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكفور يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته فكيف احتمال البلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض يا سيدي فكيف بي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي لأي الأمور إليك أشكو ولما منها أضج وأبكي لألم العذاب والشدة أم لطول البلاء ومدته فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائي وجمعت بيني وبين أهل البلاء وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك وهبني صبرت على هر نارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجاء عفوك فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا لئن تركتني ناطقا لأدجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج العاملين ولا أصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين ولا أبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين ولا أنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين يا غاية آمال العارفين يا غياث المستغيثين يا غياث المستغيثين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين ويا إله العالمين أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته وهبس بين طباقها بجرمه وجريرته وهو يدج إليك ضجيج مؤمل لرحمته ويناديك بلسان أهل التوحيد ويتوسل إليك بربوبيته يا مولاي فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمه أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يعمل فضلك ورحمتك أم كيف يهرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه أم كيف يشتمل عليه ذفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفها أم كيف يتقلقل بين طباقها وأنت تعلم صدقها أم كيف تضجر ذبانيتها وهو يناديك يا رب أم كيف يرجو فضلك في إتقه منها فتتركه فيها هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاهدين وقضيت به من إخلاد معاندين فجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما لكنك تقدست أسماؤك عكسا أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين وأن أنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدعا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي هتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل قبيح أسررته وكل جهل عملته كتمته وأعلنته أخفيته أو أظهرته وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي فكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك أخفيتا وبفضلك سترتا وأن توفر هذ من كل خير تنزل وإحسان تفضلت وبر تنشر ورزق تبسط وذنب تغفر وخطأ تستر يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك ركبي يا من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بدر ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحقك وقدسك وعظم صفاتك واسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي في الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا وبخدمتك موصولا وأعمالي عندك مقبولا حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي يا من إليه شكوت وأحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب قوي على خدمتك جوارحي واشتد على العزيمة جوانحي وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرع إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في المبادرين واشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك ذنوب المخلصين وأخافك مخافة الموقنين وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد ومن كادني فكد واجعل لي من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخصهم ظلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجد لي بجودك وعطف علي بمجدك وحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك فأقلني يثرتي واغفر لي ذلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم الإجابة فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي فبعزتك استجب لدعائي وبلغني مناي ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من عدائي يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من راس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء يا صادق النعم يا دافع النقام يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.
Jazakallah, brother Mesam Raza, for a beautiful recitation of Dua Kumail.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا نبي الله. السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى ورحمة الله وبركاته. زيارة وارث كربلاء بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك وارث آدم صفة الله. السلام عليك وارث نوح نبي الله. السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليك وارث موسى كليم الله. السلام عليك وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك وارث محمد حبيب الله. السلام عليك وارث علي الأمير المؤمنين ولي الله. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك يا صار الله والدساري والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد قمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله ورسوله حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأصلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة، لم تنجسك الجاهلية بأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من مدلهمات ثيابها، وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين، وأشهد أنك الإمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الهادي المهدي، وأشهد أن الأئمة من ولدك كلمة التقوى وأعلام الهدى والغروة الوسطى والحجة على أهل الدنيا، وأشهد الله وملائكته وأنبياءه ورسله أني بكم مؤمن بإيابكم مؤمن بشرائع ديني وخواتيم عملي، وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متبع. صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا ابن الحسين الشهيد، السلام عليك أيها الشهيد وابن شهيد، السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلتك، ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك، ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك أيها العبد الصالح المطيع لله ولرسوله. أشهد أنك قد جاهدت ونصحت وصبرت حتى أتاك اليقين. لعن الله الظالمين لكم من الأولين والآخرين وألحقهم بدرك الجحيم. لا تسأل الشهداء كربلاء عليه السلام. السلام عليكم يا أولياء الله وأحباءه، السلام عليكم يا أصفياء الله وأبداءه، السلام عليكم يا أنصار دين الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار رسول الله، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي محمد الحسن بن علي الزكي الناصح، السلام عليكم يا أنصار أبي عبد الله بأبي أنتم وأمي طبتم وطابت الأرض التي فيها دفنتم وفزتم فوزا عظيما، فيا ليتني كنت معكم فأفوز معكم. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعلنا الله الآخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخيك الحسين بالفضل العباس وسائر المستشهدين بين يديك ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك سيدنا مولانا يا صاحب العصر والزمان. الأمان 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 العجل يا مولا. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك إمامنا وإمام الإنس والجان. سيدي عجل الله تعالى مخرجا وسهل الله تعالى مخرجا وجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك ومن المستشهدين بين يديك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
اللهم صل على محمد. Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite Syed Hadi Yassin to start his speech for tonight.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May Allah inshallah accept all our prayers, our amal, our du'as, all inshallah with His blessings and mercy and rahmat inshallah, and accept it from us and reward us for our inshallah gathering tonight in this majlis. Recite another salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah help us, help the whole world, inshallah, give the hajat of those who have hajat, cure, inshallah, those who are sick, who are, having difficulties in life, inshallah, in this night, Shab Jum'ah, bi barakati salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal farajhum. In the path of ubudiyah and servitude towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are many aspects should be considered by the servant, by the salik, the one who is walking, who is taking this path or doing the tariq, means walking or doing or taking this path, tariq towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should consider many aspects. Mostly the aspects of his or her feelings, his or her emotion, to have first awareness about all aspects of who they are. Second, how to manage them, how to control them. All aspects, if it's positive, if it's negative, if it's what kind of emotions, doesn't matter, should be aware and should have control over it. Matter of fact, this is what the Islam, this is what the spirituality for, to let the person to become so powerful, to be able to, first of all, like I said, have knowledge and awareness about themselves. And second, how to manage it. All emotions, you can think about it, psychological. And more importantly, that we're going to talk about tonight, the attributes. Their connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their relationship with Allah, their relationship with other people, and their relationship with themselves, who they are and how they are. How they control themselves when it comes to other people. These layers would impact and affect our mood, our spirituality. You might sometimes feel, sometimes you are more, put it spiritual this way. You want to do more ibadah, you want to do more worship, you want to do more fasting, mustab fasting, all throughout the year, Sometimes you feel heavier, you feel down, you feel less. Sometimes you're just like, definitely I want to do the namaz jama'at, namaz, awwal waqt all the time. Another time you might feel a little bit of heavy and laziness. You might have different reasons. Some of the reasons might be the internal and hidden deficiencies that might be within us that can affect. The best example I can give you, once I brought someone to the house that the Wi-Fi is not very good. What I'm supposed to do? How should the person checked and says, the origin is okay. The Wi-Fi, the modem is working. The connection is perfect. The connection and the signal we're getting from the server, it's okay. But it might be something else around that is affecting the wireless waves. It might be the microwave. It might be the TV. It might be cell phones. It might be anything else that make the signal weaker and weaker and weaker. The origin was fine, the other things are impacting it. We can use that for ourselves. We're praying, we're fasting, we're acting, inshallah. Some other hidden things can affect us. We might not be aware of them. The topic that we're going to talk tonight is a topic of hypocrisy, the topic of riya and hypocrisy. Very, very important topic. It's been talked a lot in Islam. Been mentioned in the Quran, mentioned multiple times in riwayat and traditions we have. One of those major things can affect the outcome that we get from our spirituality, from ubudiyya, servitude, from our worship can affect us. And it can act like one of those layers that no matter what we do, how good we do, how much we do, it can neutralize the effect and we don't get the power that we want, the things that we want to return. I'll put it this way. Sometimes someone works on the immune system a lot. Let's say walking every day, running every day, this and that, but the food and the diet is not good. Would affect them negatively and, make them sick. Therefore, it is important that we pay attention to these layers, specifically this topic of hypocrisy that is so important for us. And actually, it is so important that, inshallah, in the details, we'll talk about it, that can destroy the whole action, destroy the whole amal. So it's important for us to pay attention to it. I don't know if you have before, had any specific academic discussion about this topic of hypocrisy. That what is hypocrisy and what are the details of hypocrisy? What are the types of hypocrisy? Inshallah, we're going to talk about. And if we have time, what are the treatments for hypocrisy? It is very important for our spiritual immune system. If we're not aware of this, this is one of those things that will bring the spiritual cancer, if I want to put it this way. The issue that will not be solved easily. And it can be so hidden within someone that he or she might not be aware of it. So if I ask you, what do you think is hypocrisy? What is your definition of hypocrisy? I'm sure you have a definition. Think about it before I answer. And it might be so obvious definition. Always working or acting to gain credit and respect from who? From other people by doing any righteous deeds and acts or something that indicate righteousness. Someone comes and says, if it's directly to the actions such as salat and others, or indication, Ya Allah, forgive in front of others, forgive us, Qiyamah, the day of judgment. Why? Because in front of others he wants to say, oh, I just remember. Right? Oh my God, I'm so hungry. So other people says, what's going on? So he says, I'm fasting. Somehow indicating, that I want others to know, to praise, to give me the credit or respect me more because of an action, because of an amal, a righteous action in amal, which is a major sin. It's like, riyah, duruq, lying, backbiting. These are all, Ayah Quran that says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ يُرَاءُونَ. Woe to those people who performers of salah, who are, neglectful, I have to fix this, neglectful of salah, and who, woe to these people as well, who do good deeds only to show off in front of others. They want to show off in front of others that, even for salah or for any actions, they want to do it to show off. They want to do it for other people say, oh, you did it. Oh yeah, that's it, mashallah. This person is a very mu'min person inside to get the credit and praise. Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he say? Indeed, the worst things that I'm afraid to you or his ummah is minor shirk. They ask, what is minor shirk? He said, hypocrisy, doing things for the sake of others. This is the obvious one we're talking about. Inshallah, we'll go to the details. Doing things for the sake of others. And he says, he said this shirk, minor shirk, I'm not afraid of my ummah to worship idols. Another riwayah says, I'm not afraid of them worshiping idols, both or idols. No, I'm afraid of they will, do for the sake of others, which is shirk. Idols, that means because the Quraysh, the disbelievers, the mushrikeen, they believe in God, but they believe that this Buddha and these idols are the representative of him on the earth. So they believe in the higher power. In this case, when someone is doing hypocritical and doing things, for the sake of others and showing off, indeed, he's associating someone else, God forbid, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we just seek praise by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reward from Allah, and we do want the credit from others. Another hadith from Rasulullah Muhammad said, Allah does not accept, this is where we get from, the action that there is a bit of hypocrisy. So it's not that just a little bit of action of hypocrisy, a little bit for the sake of Allah. No, even a tiny bit, dharrah, a partial, tiny bit of the hypocrisy, the amal would not be accepted. Another tradition says, at the day of judgment, Allah tells a hypocrite to go and seek to receive the reward of your action from the one who you did it for. You did the action for others to, for others to praise you. At the day of judgment, go ahead and go ask them to give you the reward. Another hadith says, if someone does, we talk about it mostly for the sake of Allah and a little bit for the sake of others, doesn't matter. Allah put it together, says, go get it from other persons, whatever you want to get, right? So then the hypocrisy is what? The hypocrisy is something that a person internally, if it's not working on the actions, wants to be praised. And by the way, this is a natural feelings that we have. We would like other people to praise us. We would like other people to see that we do good. Children, if you look at them, they're very strong in this. They do and they announce it. Baba, can you see, did I do a good job? Mom, I ate my food. Mom, I did this. How about, they want to show in front of others that they did something. That shows that this is the initial and very basic feelings of human beings. If it's not controlled, then he or she wants to do everything for the sake of being praised. Now it's like 5 years old, 10 years old. Oh, I ate my food, so you have to praise me. He says, I'm not going to praise you. You have to eat your food. Food doesn't have praise. If you don't, so it's a basic childish behavior that should be fixed when it comes to the salik, to the one who is walking towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our traditions are saying that maintaining the amal is actually another side, is more difficult than doing the amal. Sometimes the riyā and actions is at the beginning, we'll talk about it, at the beginning, before the amal actions happens. Sometimes it's after. Maintaining is more difficult. There's a beautiful riwayat from Imam Baqir. We can read it. It says, the person does the action for the sake of Allah, conceal it for the sake of Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestow the thawab and the reward of concealed amal. Because I don't want anyone to praise me, just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is for the sake of Allah. Allah gave him the thawab of that. Then the person tomorrow goes outside and describe what he did, tells others what he did. The actions, the thawab of the concealed amal and action would be removed, and they give him the thawab of the amal that is done openly in front of others. For the second time, the person goes and tells others, now there's no mercy anymore. The thawab will be removed, and the hypocrisy will be documented for the person. You know what does it tell us when I was reading this tradition? It tells us that everything is accurate in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one can deceive Allah. No one can rig the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one can, do anything wrong. It's so accurate as the world is functioning so accurately, as the sun and the moon and everything, the nature is. So in the path of Allah, the same thing. You're not done when your actions is over. You're actually responsible for your action because that can affect you. Why? It shows something to us. It shows that the action doesn't matter. Your salat doesn't matter to us, just going up and down. The effect of salat on you is important. Pay attention, it's very important. The salat, you went up and down. So what? Very important, by the way. We should do it, right? I'm going to the detail. The effect of salat on you is important. Why? Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. The salat, the result of salat should be that you control yourself, keep you away from corruption and munkarat and evil, right? If the salat, you're praying, but if it's still others, you're doing whatever he or she was doing, whatever they were doing wrong, then what's the point of this salat? If you pray and you want to use this praying and salat to show off in front of others, rather than it helps you to control your iman, to control your emotions and have better iman, it actually causes you to have more hypocrisy. What's the point of having this salat? the thawab. No, the thawab is going to be removed. Everything is accurate here. No. Yes, you can say I prayed 3 rakah, but so that's so important and accurate here, the result of the salat. So let's talk about this. What is the result of my salat Maghrib and Isha that I prayed? I'm talking about myself. You ask yourself. What is the thawab of and not the thawab? What is the effect of the whole day salat that I had. Fajr, Zohr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. 5 times salat today. What was the effect on me? Any munkar, any fahsha, I control myself to get away from them. Could I control myself? Somehow, right? It's not our topic, so I'm just going to pass it. It was just what came to my mind. Anyhow, Imam Sallallahu says, the one who acts for the sake of Allah, even little bit for the sake of Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it bigger and will manifest it in front of others. Allah would show that amal to other people as something so big, so that others would indeed praise the person who did the action. But the opposite, if the person does for the sake of other people, even if he or she stays awake at night, physically gets so tired to do that amal, Salatul Layl in front of others, so others will praise him. If stay awake the whole night, so in the masjid others see him, it will be small and so minor in front of others. Whoever would hear about this, what's the big deal? Someone might donate $5, $10, $100 for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah would show the hadith, other hadith says Allah would show it to others, the good action. And makes it big, mashallah, this person is, not that he's looking, Allah is showing it to others. Someone might pay, $1,000, $1 million, but the intention is wrong. Allah will make it so small, and others will not even dunyavi perspective, others will not even praise that person, what he or she did, and why they did it. Everything is balanced, everything is work. The mood is important. I was supposed to do this ibadat. I was supposed to do this action to get closer to who? Let me ask you this. What is the most important reason behind ibadah and worship? Taqarrub. Closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Correct? What is riyah? Hypocrisy. Opposite of that. By the way, one of the reasons I picked this topic because it's a major reason that many of our youth have difficulties with the communities of Muslims. And I mentioned many times, this is universal. When I talk to those who are having difficulties with Islam and practicing Islam, they tell me that, at least one of the reasons, either it's a justification most of the time, or just whatever. But the truth is that, yes, you're telling the truth, that sometimes you see hypocrisy in their families, in the masjid, in the communities. They see this, and they are young, they're innocent. They see why are you doing this in front of others somehow that you're not in private? I see my father in private is different than in front of others. Why are you acting this way? So you're not doing for the sake of Allah. You're doing for the sake of Allah. Why do we go masjid? We go to the masjid so to socialize, or we're going for the sake of taqarrub? Then you tell me to pray. Then if this salat is going to be for others, then what am I supposed to pray? Why am I supposed to pray? So these are the things that they calculate. They don't have a good answers behind this. Then they leave. Then the person who is hypocrite, not only the iqab and the gunah and the sin and the consequence of hypocrisy will be for that person, the consequence of misguiding and misleading other people, such as their own children, will be there for them as well. It's an important topic. Because you know that hypocrisy has different types. Different types. One, when it comes to, it comes to nifaq, to iman, it comes to worship. The first one is in iman. When it comes to nifaq, munafiq as well, right? That the person would testify, shahadatain, shahada, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, wa ali Muhammadin wa ajjal faraj. Okay, so he or she, they do it openly in front of others, but indeed, in their heart, they're against it. In their heart, they rejected it. In their heart, they do not believe in it. What happened here? This is the kufr. This is disbeliefs. This is, it's not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is 100% wrong, and it will not be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this person actually, we have in Islam, this person's, the gunah is even worse than what? The one who shows openly that they're against Iman and Islam. Munafiqeen of Medina, if you remember. Why? Because this is the shirk, this is the kufr, and the riya altogether. The other one is just kufr. They won't believe Allah in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever. But this one is kufr and also what? And also hypocrisy together that cause more problem. The second type in ibadah that is very prevalent, it happens a lot, this type, is the hypocrisy in ibadah and in worship that has its own type. One, he or she, they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet of Allah, but they act hypocritical in the origin of the mandatory actions. It's not in iman of the person, but when it comes to wajibat, they act in front of others as for the sake of getting credits for them that they do the wajibat. Very easy example. They don't pray, they don't fast in private, but they do it in front of others. He doesn't fast during Ramadan, it's in wajibat. He doesn't fast, she doesn't fast. Well, when it comes to iftar, mashallah, if they invite them, they go for iftar. Why? Because they don't. In a masjid, so I have to sit down and act, and I don't eat anything in front of others, and I show that, inshallah, I'm fasting. They don't fast. In front of others, they show it. Many times happen. Some people, they don't fast, but if they invite them for iftar, bismillah, the first people who attend, as if they're very hungry. This is hypocrisy. They don't pray, but in front of others, because they don't want others to say, oh, this brother, this sister, they don't pray. In front of others, they act like they're praying. Inside their house, they have a behavior, because it's wajib to be having husn khulq and kind to other people, right? Family member. In front of others, very nice, mashallah, very respect. In private, for themselves, it's opposite. It's type of hypocrisy. Again, going back, this amal, this action was supposed to help me to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now it's opposite. Now it affects me negatively. The same amal, the same salat is negatively affecting me. Quran, la yazidu zalimina illa khasara. Recitation of this Quran, this ayah Quran says, Quran for zalimin, for the oppressors, it does not add anything except lost. The same ayah Quran, the same nur, the same guidance, the same hidayat does not add anything to zalimin illa khasara. Khasara, zarar. Lost. You just bring them. Why? It keeps them away from guidance, more and more from guidance. One example, all those who, betrayed Rasulullah. They were reciting Quran. Salat al-Jama'ah on time. What did they do? The Salat is putting them down, because this Salat is not Salat. Their recitation of Quran is cursing them. How many people, the munafiqeen, hypocrites of Medina, right? The Jama'ah, Salat al-Jama'ah against Rasulullah, behind the back of Rasulullah, they were, plotting and to do something against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this Quran is causing more issue. They build masjid al-Zirar, right? They build masjid munafiqeen. They built masjid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Rasulullah to go destroy that masjid. Why? That masjid is causing more deviation. That masjid is causing more this misguidance towards people. So it should be destroyed. The same salat is supposed to keep the person closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This donation was supposed to help the person to get closer to Allah by helping others. Now it's keeping them away. Why? Because it's not for the sake of Allah, it's for the sake of other people. This person is not among disbelievers. This person who is doing it, okay, what was that? The second one, hypocrisy in ibadat, remember? The first one, hypocrisy in beliefs, in iman. That is kufr. out of Iman, right? This one, they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet. They have hypocrisy in what? In action and in ibadat. It's not the kufr. However, they will be among the worst kind of Muslims and the closest to kufr. Why is not kafir? Because they believe in Allah and the Prophet. Why they're worse? Because the amal, what is the point of this iman and actions? Yeah, overall, but just they have shahadatain, so okay. But what is the point here? What is the point here? To that level. Really? Yes. What kind of salat is this? That the person who does it, and we'll talk about it, doesn't matter if the whole intention is for the sake of others or a little bit of the intention, that makes it very difficult. The second type of hypocrisy in ibadah, in worship, hypocrisy not in the origin of the mandatory wajibat, it's in mustahabbat. They do hypocrisy in mustahabbat. What does it mean? That means in the mustahabbat, such as nafila, salat al-layl. In private, they do not do it. In front of others, they want to do it. Such as going visiting a sick person. It's not for the sake of Allah, it's for the sake of others. It says, yes, mashallah, brother so-and-so, he came into the hospital, visited the brother as well. Funeral. They go to the funeral for the person, not for the sake of Allah, because it's recommended, it's mustahab. Not for the sake of, the thawab of that, not for the sake of getting lessons from the funeral and going to the cemetery. For the sake of others to say, mashallah, brother so came as well. Sister came as well. To show, mashallah, they care a lot about the community. To these details, yes. It can be anything else. Anything that is mustahab that we should do, but they want to do it in front of others. Helping, the masjid being volunteers do something. It's not wajib, it's kind of let's put it in the mustahabbat. Something very good actions. But if it's just for the sake of others, so mashallah, brother so-and-so is very active as well. Alhamdulillah, they're working. By the way, I'm talking about myself here as well. This is something that all of us, urafa and ulama, doesn't matter, or simple person, they all have to be careful. Doesn't matter what level it is, we all are the same. We should be very careful about the traps of shaitans that wants to put us down. Sometimes, like I said, they naturally, it comes to us that we want to be praised, want to be seen, want to have the attention. So we have to go against it to control it. Jealousy sometimes comes, you have to control it, and keeping it down, right? This person that has hypocrisy, this person is not as worse of the first group that they have in the origin of the wajibat and mandatory hypocrisy. However, they're shedding shirk. They're shirk. Because that one did the wajib for the sake of other people as well. This one is doing mustahab for the sake of Allah. It's not as worse than that because that's wajibat, but even the same way because they associating others with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This mustahab was supposed to help you. This mustahab was supposed to help you to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It keeps keeping you away further and further from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The third type of hypocrisy is in the attributes and action of worship, not in the actual worship. The first one was, and the second one was about what? The actual salat and fasting. Now it's in the actions of the salat, in the actions of the ibadah, such as when it comes to masjid or in front of others, the ruku is better, the sajda is better, the fasting is better in front of others. Before they fast, they break their fast at the time of iftar in front of others. Dua, Bismillah ar-Rahman in front of others. Ya Allah, Surah Qadr. When it comes to home, Ya Allah, Azan, Bismillah, eating. That's hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. They're crying in the majlis of Ahlul Bayt, but they want to show that I cried. They don't wipe out their tears so others can see. Internally, the intention matters here. There was a video I saw, there was, recording majlis of, one majlis for Ahlul Bayt, Imam Muslim something. And he was going through the audience. Someone was, sitting and looking here and over there. As soon as he saw that the camera is over him, he started crying in front of others. Why? Because the camera is recording it. So it was very obvious. He didn't know that they already captured him not looking, not crying, and all of a sudden, as soon as you saw the camera, subhanAllah, in the reality, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that shows like that. Right? So now the attributes, now the details, salat, the qira'at of salat, at home, the speed, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, in front of others, in masjid, the speed is better. The tone of salat is better. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, because others are hearing, specifically the salat al-Maghrib and Isha, right? Because in front of others, if I go fast, they want to say, oh, sister so-and-so, you shouldn't fast this way. That's not nice. But in my house, private, so who cares, you know? Just my own thing. So this person is also in danger and involved in shirk as well. So all sort of this second one in ibadah, they are haram and they're forbidden. Doesn't matter in what part and what side. They're all among major sins. Worship, hypocrisy in worship, no matter what type, is haram. This person will not seek salvation, the goal of reaching that. The action is not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here's the details. Doesn't matter if the whole intention was to show off or partially doing for the sake of others. Doesn't matter, a little bit or the whole. The action is batil. The salat, someone prayed, if it's not 100% qurbatan ilallah, they have to redo that salat. The salat is batil. If someone is praying Maghrib, 90%, 95%, 99%, and 1% to show to others that I'm praying, so you have to praise me, the salat is batil. Shar'an is batil, if that intention is there. I'm praying for you to show me. That's batil. That nafila is batil. They have to do it again. It's not that it's better not to have hypocrisy. No, it makes the amal and the worship batil. You have to do it. Even if it is more for the sake of Allah, as we talked about, and a little bit for the sake of others, doesn't matter. No association of anyone with Allah. Allah is a ghayur. He does not want anyone to be associated with him when it comes to this. Allah is ghayur. Doesn't matter if another section, from the beginning of action, he or she had the intention of hypocrisy, or in the middle of the action, that the intention comes. The intention is batil. It's like, imagine someone, best example, doesn't have wuzu. From the beginning, doesn't have wuzu, and start the salat is batil. In the middle of the salat, the wuzu becomes batil, the salat will be batil. This is a perfect example, right? Hypocrisy does the same thing. Hypocrisy does the same thing. Someone amdan with janaba entered to the day of Ramadan's fasting, or in the middle of the day, amdan and purposely makes himself or herself junub. Doesn't matter. The fasting is batil, of fasting of Ramadan. Doesn't matter, from the beginning have the intention of shirk, or in the middle. In the qunut, realize that someone is watching. And now I'm doing for the sake of you to praise me. Before it was for the sake of Allah, they have to redo the action. It's haram. I mean, put aside whatever is the feeling, whatever is the result. Bring the feelings, the actions. This person is away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then this Ramadan, how is it supposed to help? This Muharram that you did as all for the sake of Ramadan, how is it supposed to help you if it's just, not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Now, a little bit of more explanation. If there is a good reason to showing the action to people, it is not hypocrisy. I'm acting to encourage others to show, to do the same thing. If it's nothing, not other issues are there. Not that, for example, I'm going to donate to fuqara and bring the faqir to the masjid in front of others. By the way, because I'm going to encourage you, this brother was faqir and I'm going to pay to him. You're dishonoring this person. You're making this person to show He doesn't want it, so why are you doing it? The honor of this person is more important. You see how delicate it is. No, you shouldn't do it. You know, sometimes the TV, they bring the homeless. Yeah, I'm going to help you so others see that maybe he has an honor. Tomorrow, maybe he is going to be changed. Why are you showing it? Be very concealed when it comes to do these things, you know, specifically when it's regarding to other people. But if it's no issue, just to showing it to people, that's fine. However, our tradition is saying it's very difficult to achieve that. Because you want to show it to encourage other people. The shaitan comes and says, no, show it to encourage other people, but internally there might be riyah. There might be hypocrisy. It's very difficult. It's very difficult when it comes to the nafs and to ego. Is it for the sake of Allah or is it for the sake of, you know, something or someone else? Other details, important details. Also, it is fine to feel happy that others heard about these righteous actions after Amal, after he or she kept the Amal concealed. They tried to keep it concealed, not to show off in front of others, but for some reason it's manifested in front of others. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He showed it to other people. This happiness is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed His mercy for this person. They somehow helped. He didn't want anyone to know. They mentioned their name somehow. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now that He's encouraging people, as everyone is praising, this feeling of happiness, that's okay. Alhamdulillah, that Allah loved me so much that He's showing it to others what I did. It shows that inshallah in akhirat, Allah is going to treat me the same. Or happiness that someone heard that can encourage them to do so. I didn't want them to hear for some reason, but when they heard I'm happy because that, inshallah, if that can encourage other people to do the same thing. Or acting because of being encouraged by the action of others. Here is very important what I'm going to talk about. Because sometimes shaitan comes and tries to say it's hypocrisy, but if it's not. What does it mean? You went to the masjid, Shab Qadr, Shab Ashura, whatever it is. You see other people, mu'mineen, that is praying Salat al-Layl. The person doesn't usually pray Salat al-Layl. But that night, seeing all mu'mineen, alhamdulillah, in Salat, they're praying Salat al-Layl, the person will become inspired to do it. Shaitan comes and says, oh, that's hypocrisy because you don't do it. You shouldn't do it now in front of this. That's shaitan. No, actually, you should do it. You're inspired. Your intention, it's not that, oh, others see that I'm praying every night. That's why I'm praying here. That's wrong. No, because you got inspired by other mu'mineen. That's very good. You go to the masjid or wherever you are, you got inspired by other people that they are praying, they are reciting Quran. You get inspired. You say, I'm wasting my time. The masjid is not started yet. Bismillah, I grab Quran and I recite it. That's great. Shaitan comes and says, oh, that's hypocrisy. Don't do it. It's not hypocrisy. It's a very good thing. You go to the fundraising, you don't want to pay, you usually don't pay, you don't help, but you see the environment, the encouragement, inspiration, everybody's helping, everybody's donating. You like to do that as well. You get inspired. Perfect. Why not? It's not hypocrisy. As long as internally, it's not that I'm going to show off to other people. So that's an important point here, right? So don't let shaitan. Or shaitan comes and mislead us with haya. When it comes to wajibat, sometimes comes says, no, don't do it. It's haya, you should. Someone has to do ghusl wajib. Perfect example. Has to do ghusl wajib. And might be invited to someone else's house. Right? No, astaghfirullah, they're going to read. If you have to, and your salat is getting qaza, you have to do it. You have to do it. La haya fi din. When it comes to acting for deen, we have to. Shaitan comes and makes it. No, you shouldn't do it in front of. You know, Shaitan comes from different directions to destroy. The third type of hypocrisy in action other than worship. For example, keeping the clothing clean so people consider the person a clean person. In the house, he or she is not like that. They should be, but they're not. Hiding a deficiency of a body so they don't say sickness. It's a type of showing something. What is the hypocrisy again to this point is that showing something that is not. Right? That I'm clean, but you're not a clean person. Is this wrong? Is this type of hypocrisy wrong? Because as we said, the first type in iman is kufr. The second one is haram and makes the amal batil. The third one in mubah, amal mubah, whatever you want to do, whatever, clean or something. not eating that much in front of others because they don't so he's eating too much. This type are fine. Sometimes good. Sometimes good. We have Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he was passing, it was getting to go to see the ashab. Sometimes it says, someone says that the Rasulullah stopped and he was seeing himself in the water of the tank. There was a tank, khumra. He saw himself in the water as a mirror, and he was fixing his turban and he was fixing his hair, right? The person says, oh, you're doing it too as well? Are you paying to your appearance? And so says, of course. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves to see his servants make himself or herself presentable, nice, clean for mu'mineen when they go. And imagine someone comes in front of you very dirty and not smell good or something. That's not in our. This is actually the sunnah of Rasulullah at that time, brothers and sisters. Not now, if people are trying to show that. No, at that time, over 1,400 years ago, who cares about these things? Who cares about smell? Still, some part of the word is same thing, that you smell good or not. What is your clothing? At that time, Rasulullah said, no, clean, and how you present yourself to the community. Why? Because in the masjid, around people that you're clean, you encourage people to come to that masjid. And masjid, the carpet smells like the feet, God forbid. And, people hate to pray there. I'm going to go to sajda to remember Allah. I'm going to remember the feet of my brother. I'm going to be disgusted to pray. Right? How come other places is not like, but here, that's why, no, the cleanness, the smell, and all those things to be presented. Group of mu'mineen, sometimes someone comes and says, oh, mashallah, how they look like. Oh my, look at this. The same thing in the house. Now, the same in the house. When we are Muslims, with our families, we should look very presentable, nice. I'm not saying the clothing that we wear outside, but clean and nice. Super important for couples. We know about it. Doesn't matter, man or woman. Of course, a little bit higher and lower, more and less, sensitivity on that. But clean clothing for ourselves when we're going to pray. Why don't we have a nice clothing when we want to pray? Even we change to something nicer in the house. For ourselves, this is the clean salat, the clean clothing for salah. And in front of children. Oh, mom and dad, why are you changing? I'm going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm going to pray here. Why are you putting cologne on? Oh, I'm going to pray. Wow. So in action, you're doing something. In private, in the house. Why don't we have a nice area, a nice place, a great, setting for salat, perfect area. So it's dedicated. It's a masjid for our house, Makes it presentable, makes it beautiful. If you look at the Western countries in the Middle Age, 100 years ago, they were living in trash, actually. Go look at Europe. Look at the movies. They show what they were, how they were. 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, how they were. Now look at the Islam over 1400 years ago, how he's saying that taharat, cleaning yourself. If you're using bathroom you're using bathroom, how you clean yourself and everything. This is Islam, the cleanness, being nice and being the one that you encourage other people to be around. Anyhow, the second type of this third hypocrisy in action, in worship, is to hide the sin. So people won't consider that person as someone who commits sins. Is there anything wrong with that? Because internally, it's a little bit confusing. So internally, outward, I'm showing something that internally I'm committing that sins. This is fine. No, this is not hypocrisy. I mean, it's a type of hypocrisy. It's okay. Even revealing it is forbidden. No, you're not supposed to say others what you did. It's isha'iyya fahsha, and you're showing it to other people. No, Prophet Muhammad said the one who committed wrongdoing, wrong actions, problems should not show it, should conceal it from other people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would cover it as well. Should not show it. Why? Because that makes it natural, normal for other people to do that. Even among the family, fathers, mother, if you did something wrong, make sure it's not revealed to others, so others would see and hear and other things. Anyhow, so we don't have time, inshallah. Maybe next week we will continue to the topic of the treatment of hypocrisy, because that goes to the topic of being in love to hear the praise of others. That's another topic. So mashallah, we'll continue that. Well, one thing I want to mention here, just a great treatment here is this. Until it is not completely solved, do your actions in private. If someone feels that they have issue with this, that's number one and the best treatment. As long as that issue is there, doing it privately. Do not, oh, I'm going to do it for the sake of encouraging others. Forget about it. Do it just privately. Just privately. Donation, salat, blah, 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 whatever. Because that's a sickness comes to that person. And it doesn't matter if you fit it a little bit, that feeling is going to come back to the person, right? So that causes issue. So no, make sure, this is just one thing. We'll talk about it, inshallah, more later, but to keep it that way. Anyhow, so the discussion that we had then, it's about what? It's about the layers of deficiencies and issues that can affect us. However, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He Himself is going to reveal it, show it, the bottom line is what I feel, what is in my intention. I can deceive myself. I can feel what is in my heart, right? I want others to praise me, or I want, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praise. That's the bottom line. However, sometimes no, it's the action is the requirement. Sometimes someone else is doing it for you and, praising you. Not that you want it, but praying you. Someone else's, they want to do that. I mean, different things, we'll talk about it. But it's internally about your feelings. If you want others to do it rather than Allah, or you want to share your action with others, not completely for the sake of Allah. That's why the niyyat is the first requirement and condition for amal. Wajibat of salat is what? For example, the first wajib of salat is niyyah. The salat that doesn't have niyyah is not a salat. It's not started yet. It's batil. It's not salat al-maghrib. It's not salat al-isha. It's not. And if the niyyah is corrupted, the salat is not salat. You don't accept it. That's why, what do you say? What do you have in your niyyah? Qurbatan ilallah. Qurba. For the sake of getting close to Allah. So for the sake of getting close to Allah, or getting close to Hassan and Hussein and Zahra and Fatima. If it's for the sake of Allah, others are dissociated, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad ma'ajjal farajah. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والنصر ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك بحق الحسين يا الله. Hasten in the zuhur of our Imam Mahdi. Keep us all from hypocrisy, riya, any deficiencies in soul, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman. Help our youth, our children, our generation always be strong in the path of Quran, Islam, and Ahlul Bayt. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who have hajat and requests, give them khair hajat. Ya Allah, those who have difficulties, who are issue, provide opportunities for their freedom. Those who are dealing and struggling in this time, financially, family-wise, health-wise, Ya Allah, Bahaq al-Hussein, provide the best for them at this moment. Those who are struggling with this in the front line, support them, keep them healthy. Remove this bala, this pandemic from the whole world, specifically among them, mu'minat. Those who are sick, cure them. Those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our majalis to their soul, inshallah. Rahimallah man yaqra al-fatihata ma'as salawat. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.